Israelis. What I am going to say is, why would they want to do it? Because the supergun was aimed at Israel? The supergun was way far away from completion. I believe that the Israelis knew exactly what the state of play was with the supergun. Somebody pushed a button, and that button, I will believe to the day I leave this earth, was in Washington.
To this day, many believe that Gerald Bull was assassinated by the Israelis. The supergun and the threat it posed to Israel is thought to be the reason. Others speculate the reason for his murder can be traced back a decade earlier, when Bull was incarcerated for his involvement with the CIA in the South African affair.
The key part of his life post-1980 is the fact that he just could not turn the page on the whole North American criminal matter. He was portrayed as a criminal, and certainly he was not, neither in his mind, and I don't think he was in fact.
He wanted, I believe, first and foremostly, a real apology. He felt he was due compensation for having been slammed into jail, that he was due compensation for having been a very good boy at the court hearing, and he wanted justice. Not the justice of being told to keep quiet in a federal court and then being handed down a sentence.
So this is something that he fought over the years from 1980 all the way to his death. In fact, 4 weeks prior to his death, he was still in Washington again trying to rally some type of activity to try and clear his name.
Only weeks before his assassination, Gerald Bull attended a lunch meeting in downtown Washington. Who he met remains a mystery.
The person he met was involved early on with South African and told him, well, if you had not pleaded guilty, you know, there was a contract on your head. The fact that he pleaded guilty and that sentence was rather swift did stop overall all investigation on whether it be journalistic or governmental into the South African matter.
After 10 years of fruitless efforts to clear his name, did Gerald Bull refuse to take no for an answer?
It is absolutely vital that, if possible, we can find out what was said at that meeting and to whom. That may well have been the tripwire that pulled the trigger in the foyer of an apartment in Brussels. And he was trying to get a presidential pardon, and he was trying to extort money from them. I mean, I've been told that was the feeling in Washington. This guy is trying to extort money. He's trying to blackmail us. There is no doubt in my mind that Jerry Bull was trying to play hardball. There is no doubt in my mind that he was getting ready at one point to go public. If Bull had really started to sing like a canary, a lot of very, very senior people in the American political, military, and industrial establishments could have been indicted by the Congress of the United States. I think he was becoming so noisy and so much of a potential, deadly potential, political embarrassment. He had to be hit.
I think that my dad was killed because he needed to be silenced, not because he was doing something with a supergun.
The Americans had most of all to gain. An embarrassing maverick who could become the worst nightmare of both the Central Intelligence Agency and the Defense Intelligence Agency, and possibly half of the American political establishment, dropped out of sight the night somebody put 5 7.65 rounds into him. Hey, the slate's been wiped clean. We can all breathe again.
I I've come to the conclusion that we'll never really know who's behind my father's assassination. The problem that I see right now is that there's probably so much deliberate disinformation out there that it's very, very difficult. You have political agendas here that go beyond his assassination.
Let he who has a secret keep that fact a secret. So whenever something terrible, something tragic, like the killing of a man of great character and great intellect, the first casualty after he has died is truth, and the second casualty is justice. So Gerald Bull will never get justice, and people like you and I will never really get to the truth. We are trying to find truth in a shadowy twilight world where nothing is black and nothing is white. Everything is 1,000 different shades of grey.